Canadians under 25 have been hit the hardest by unemployment during the pandemic, and many post-secondary students will be taking on even more debt as they head back to school. Joining us now is Everything Financial Group CEO Peter Cishecki with some tips on how students can best manage their finances. Good morning, Peter. Good to see you.
Nice to see you, Carrie. Good morning.
So for a lot of people, students, there's this added financial pressure this year. Maybe they weren't working leading up to going back to school. How important is it for students to create a back-to-school budget?
Very important, Carrie. When people go back to school and university students, they seem to not have a grasp on how much things cost yet because they're new at this and budgeting. And it's very important for them to start looking at what things cost, how much they're going to spend, and limit their spending. We've done a test with some clients, kids, to see what they spend money on, and it would shock you what they spend money on.
So tell us what should be in that budget. What should it entail?
A budget for books, a certain amount of money to be spent on transportation if they're using public transit to get to school, with the cards they need for that. And then also a budget for food, for eating when they're at school, because a lot of students will go to the university and they will stay there from first thing in the morning till very late at night. And that's the one area they spend the most amount of money on. But when you ask them how much they spend, and when you find out how much they actually spend, there's a huge difference.
Oh, I'm sure. And also, maybe there may not be as much socializing this year as there has been in the past, but you have to have some socializing money too.
Oh, no socializing at all. They're there to learn and be students. Yeah, I know, I'm kidding. You have to have a little bit of money for socializing, but we put that into the food and entertainment budget, if you will. Okay. And the amount they spend is more than their parents.
Oh, isn't that interesting? Yeah, so student loan deferrals are ending. So how do you suggest that students plan to pay back the loans if money is still tight?
If money's still tight, you can look at different line of credit options from your institution. Maybe you have to get your parents to co-sign a line of credit or look at borrowing from them to get something that's basically down to interest only right now until you can have some surplus cash from a part-time job or whatever the case may be to start paying back that money, because interest rates are low. So servicing the debt is not necessarily as hard right now as paying back the debt.
So many will also have to prepare for the tax repayment of CERB. Tell us about that.
Yeah, the tax repayment of the CERB, you're looking at $400 to $500 of every $2,000 you were collecting. If you're fortunate enough, or you can go out and find a part-time job because they are available, look at basically taking $100 to $150 of every one of those paychecks and putting it aside in a savings account to help pay for the CERB. The other thing you can do is do your taxes right away at the beginning of January. Not saying you have to file them, just do them right away so you know how much you're going to owe, and then you'll have right to the end of April to save up that money to collect it so you can pay the government.
Well, that's a great tip, and I know that you were talking about that before, so set that money aside so you're prepared for what's to come. Peter Cishecki with Everything Financial, and make sure you check out his podcast too if you have a chance. Thanks, Peter. Have a great day.
Thanks, Carrie. You too. Have a great day.